So guys, to start out, this is my oldest leopard gecko, Indica. She's a high yellow hypocaratail, but she's going through a shed right now. She's actually a bit of a runner today, but I'll get a better shot of this. Anybody who's worried about me holding her tail like that, I was being very gentle. You can actually be very gentle and touch their tails and it won't do anything to them at all. As long as you don't try and grab them too tightly like that. But she is a big girl. She's over 70 grams, and she's what got me into reptiles. I got her and just fell in love right away, and then started watching YouTube videos and saw all the crazy color forms that everybody was breeding, and we just had to get more. So we'll go on to my next gecko, who I bought at the same place. She's also going to be a breeder for me in the future. This year I was a little late starting out on everything because I didn't have my males until late in the season, so I probably won't end up having any eggs this year. But this is Roach. She's a Max Snow. Many people have commented in the past that she's not a Max Snow, but I'm pretty positive. I've seen many Max Snows that look very similar. Maybe a bit of an aberrant patterning going on here. But regardless, she was the second gecko I got. I was kind of hoping she was going to be a male, but she was under 10 grams when I got her, so there was no real sexing her then. But yeah, she was my second gecko, which I pretty much got because I wanted to start breeding leopard geckos. And then after that, we still thought that Roach was a female, or a male, sorry. So we ordered some geckos from the Urban Gecko. And Craig Stewart is the guy who does the breeding at the Urban Gecko. And we got our two next females, which were our, this one here, which is a Max Snow Raptor. So red-eyed, patternless, Tremper Orange, I think is the abbreviation, or what the abbreviation stands for, but she's an awesome gecko. I really love the colors on her. She's really cool. But she is definitely going to produce some awesome babies in the future. I'm really excited about her. But unfortunately, like I said before, we had already had two females, which we thought might be a male. And once again, couldn't go for that first season, or second season that I tried. No, it was the first season. Definitely the first season. But I'm going to put these three away and move on to my next gecko. Now here we have Cheese. Cheese is a Tangerine enigma. And we ordered her at the exact same time as when we ordered our Max Snow Raptor. So they came in the same shipment. I've got a video of me unboxing them. I'll put a link to it up here in this corner. And she definitely exhibits the neurological issues that the enigmas show. It's not the most extreme of cases. She only really does a bit of stargazing and does a bit of spinning around sometimes. And I mean, I don't really know if I want to breed her or not yet. I've talked about this in some videos in the past. Always love hearing people's opinions about it, but I don't really feel that I'd want to pass any neurological disorders on to any of my offspring. So she might end up just being a pet for forever, but regardless, I think she's an awesome looking gecko. And she's been putting on some weight lately. There's been times where she's kind of gone off feed and seemed particularly stressed out. So she's a bit smaller than the other girls who are all over 60 grams, but regardless, she's doing good, and I like her, so that's that. But next we'll move on to my males, who are right over here in these terrariums, down here. So I'll just get them out. So first of my males is my bell albino, George, and he is well over 60 grams. He might even be pushing 70 now. He's put on over 20 grams since we had him. And we also ordered him from the urban gecko. We ordered 2 males at the same time. I was really happy with my geckos from the urban gecko, so I decided to go ahead and get my males from there as well. Yeah, he's a really nice bell albino, very bright yellows. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, he's a little skittish sometimes, but it's no problem. But yeah, I got him from the urban gecko, and I've put him with my couple females that are large enough to be bred this year, Indica and Roach. We didn't put him with Mac because we don't want to cross the albino strains. I feel that bell albinos look great the way they are, and I feel that Tremper albinos look great the way they are, so I don't really feel like mixing the bloodlines. But that's George, our bell albino. And now we'll move on to my G project, who I'm really excited about. And here he is. We named him Gator, just because of the G, I guess. Both my male geckos have G's in the beginning of their name, George and Gator. But I put him in the terrarium with Mac and Indica, just to introduce him to some girls. He's just under 50 grams right now. But like I said before, very late in the season, so chances are I'm not going to have anything for babies this year. But it's not really a problem. I'm being patient, making sure I learn as I go with my geckos. I don't want to, you know, all of a sudden have too many babies and not enough food or not enough housing or anything like that. So I've been taking everything real slow. But I'm really happy with Gator here. The first time I saw the G projects, I just couldn't believe them. They're awesome. Just beautiful geckos coming out of that line. I'm pretty sure the first person to make the G project is Sasobek Reptiles. I might be saying that wrong, but I'll put a link to his Facebook or YouTube page, or YouTube channel, sorry, in the description of this video, and I really think you guys should all check him out because he produces some awesome geckos, and he definitely started this project, so, or I'm pretty positive he started this project. So that's Gator, and we'll move on to my last gecko now. Alright guys, so here we have Pi. Pi is a little bit of a joke, because pi in math is 3.14, a circle, and he has about, well, definitely a point of a leg. Unfortunately, where we got him from, they didn't know that you need moist hides and stuff to help geckos with shedding, so the leg ended up being constricted around by some stuck shed, and was all shriveled and black when I got him. He was under 4 or 5 grams and has since doubled in weight. He hunts fantastically even without that front leg. If you look from the front here, I'll try and get a better angle on him. He tends to stand with that one leg rather than being all the way out here. It's usually kind of centered underneath him to obviously correct for balance. But it's just over here. Oh, I'm jumping off my hand. We'll make sure he doesn't get away from me. But here in this little baggie, I have what was his leg. Well, his or her, I'm not too sure just yet. I'll be able to sex him soon now that he's been growing a whole bunch. But yeah, that's what the leg looked like when I got him. Just a little shriveled black thing. And now is just putting on weight and doing great. A few people have said this guy looks like a Bell albino, or I think it was a Bell albino. I really don't know if there's any albino gene going on here. If anybody knows what hatchling albinos look like, I mean, I think it might just be a gecko with a nice banded pattern. I don't think there was any special color form going on that the pet store was trying to sell it as. But as you can see, doing great with just 3 legs. So that's my leopard gecko collection. Next up will be my snakes. Alright guys, so this here is Dot. I used to call her Ziltoid, but I just prefer the name Dot, as she has this nice spot on the back of her neck right here. She's a really cool ball python, very chill. She eats well. Sometimes she refuses food. She went, actually, this is something that I had been curious about. A lot of ball pythons apparently go off of feed for a few months at a time sometimes, and even up to over a year some ball pythons have gone off of feed without really any detrimental effect. I think those ones tended to be wild-caught animals, but she went about 3 months without eating and barely lost any weight, which I was quite impressed about. But like I was saying, this Dot here, I was looking at her pattern, and if you notice, it's got a fairly bold stripe down the back with not many breaks. And I did a little bit of Googling one time about trying to figure out where the bold stripe pattern came from, or who developed it in ball pythons, because it just interested me after looking at this pattern and seeing such a bold stripe that you could almost, you know, start your own line by line breeding this. And the original specimens that they began to refine the bold stripe gene with had almost all had this exact same spot on the back of their neck. So I thought that was a kind of cool thing. I don't really know if I'll ever have the chance to work that out in this animal, to prove it out as my own line, but could be cool, you never know. But she was, like I said, I think she was a birthday present of mine, and I was really excited. But then a couple weeks later, or I think maybe a week later, I went into the pet store and they had something that I just couldn't pass up. So even though I had a brand new snake in my home, in my collection, I ended up picking up the next animal I'm going to show you.